The Madden 26 franchise deep dive is officially here, and with that comes the franchise trailer. I have gotten a complete brief on Madden 26 franchise mode down in Orlando about a month ago. I have played Madden 26 early. I'm going to be giving you my opinions, reacting to everything in the trailer, and admittedly, well, we'll get into it when it occurs. This video is sponsored by Arena Club. If there was one feeling I could recreate from my childhood, it would absolutely be the thrill of not knowing who you're going to get when you're opening that card pack. Football, baseball, I was all about it. And with Arena Club, the original home of slab packs, you can rip a pack for hundreds of dollars or less and hit on a card that's worth tens of thousands of dollars, best case scenario. Arena Club is great because they offer full transparency, showing every single card in the pack with the likelihood of pulling each one before you buy, so you will know exactly what's available, whether that's the Grail or just a regular card in the pack. Just like opening sports card packs as a kid, you get it absolutely instantly. There's no waiting around. And with every slab pack, Arena Club will make you an offer on that card instantly. Based off of the estimated market value, you can accept it or you cannot accept it, completely up to you. It'll head to your digital showroom where you can trade, sell, auction, or retrieve your physical card from the Arena Club vault. We're going to be opening up Arena Club Football Ruby Edition. Last time we got a very, very cool Drake May. Hopefully this one is even better. Slab pack from Arena Club is a J.J. McCarthy Gem Mint 10 out of Prism. It's pink, and it is potentially very good. Now, J.J. McCarthy, I believe, is yet to start an NFL game. However, he will be the starting quarterback in 2025. He's in a really quarterback-friendly offense. If there was something I was going to invest in, it may be J.J. McCarthy. If Kevin O'Connell can make Josh Dobbs, he can turn him into the Pastronaut and have a Cinderella Linsanity run, I think J.J. McCarthy could end up having a really successful career, and the value of this may end up skyrocketing. So, of course, I'm probably not going to take the offer on it. They want to give me $162. That's cool. I'm holding. So we all know why we would open packs. It's fun. You don't know what you're going to get, but you could hopefully get something amazing like this downtown Black Pandora Patrick Mahomes. But, of course, the likelihood of that is not amazing. But if you're interested in looking into this, ripping open some slab packs, click the link down in the description, arenaclub.com/Bengal, and use code Bengal because you can get 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase. Again, that's arenaclub.com/Bengal and use code Bengal. Link is down in the description, and thank you to Arena Club for sponsoring this video. Well, let's give it a shot. Here we go. The weather is going to be a big focus.
With the most meaningful update in over a decade, built around your vision, your strategy, and your identity as a coach. The first,
I think this is Case Spade, the prospect, on the video, by the way. That might be an old throwback for a lot of you guys. It's just something I want to throw out. But you see already a lot of the weather. To me, that is the most meaningful update to Madden 26. Just in my opinion, I think that is the most noticeable thing. I think that's the most fun thing. The snow, the rain should play a big impact, and they've done a lot with weather. And I think that's a big, big upgrade. And the presentation is cool because now, and I'm sure they're going to show on Monday, Sunday, Thursday Night Football, there's different scoreboards. I think it's going to make it feel a little bit more fresh.
Establishing your franchise legacy is to choose what kind of coach you want to be. All new.
This is a huge focus for Madden 26 franchise mode. It is all about being a coach. So there are a ton of abilities, a ton of coach abilities. There's a thing they're going to focus on a lot with play sheets, and there are a lot of different unlocks. There's a lot to take in with franchise mode. It's a lot of quantity for sure.
Coach archetypes offer unique identities with strengths and progression paths inspired by real NFL coaching styles. Then customize your coach's look with hundreds of new options from head to toe.
That looks like Coach Dangus, by the way.
It's time to strategize.
Coach Gene Dangus.
The weekly strategy system lets you attack each opponent with more detail and control.
It's a lot about strategy. It's a lot of preparation. There are a lot of abilities with your coach. There's a lot of strategy. And for the people that are into this, you got a lot to work with, that's for sure.
How you prepare each week is up to you. Build in-depth game plans, identify counters, and make tough calls that will shape your season and your coaching legacy.
I want to scroll back here just a little briefly because I think this is important. You can see play sheets here. So there are, in this particular scenario, 4 different play sheets to choose from, each with 20 plays. You can see the benefits of choosing each individual play sheet. There's heavy sets, air raid, gun, wide slot, and West Coast that I'm blocking. But for West Coast, for example, you'll get +5 short accuracy for quarterback on play sheet plays, +3 short route running and catch and traffic for wide receivers and tight ends on play sheet plays. That's the trend. So if you choose a specific play sheet, you will get bonuses for operating within that system.
Season and your coaching legacy. Expand your strategic arsenal with all new coach abilities. 48 game day abilities and 28 seasonal.
So you heard 48 game day, 28 seasonal. That's a lot of abilities. That's a lot. So again, I said quantity. I think that's been a pretty big focus for Madden 26. They've called it the biggest change to the franchise in over a decade. There's definitely a lot going on, in my opinion, for sure. And if you look at active tiers here, there are different levels, of course. Bronze, silver, gold. So we have increased quarterback accuracy when throwing on the run, which upgrades to when throwing outside the pocket, which upgrades to just reduced pressure effects on the quarterback when outside the pocket. And there's even a tier 4, a platinum tier, with increased max throw distance for quarterbacks with the dashing dots head coach offensive ability. There are a lot of abilities like that, or the same type of progression, and you choose which ones you want to activate, which ones maybe you're not activating.
Can be upgraded over 4 tiers of progression. Every success lets you unlock powerful new abilities and open additional ability slots for more variety and control to outsmart weekly opponents. Adjust your ability loadout for unique strategies each week without compromising your true coaching identity. Now you can build a ball control offense or a defense that lives on turnovers. Stack and upgrade abilities to fit your scheme. And you won't be the only one game planning. New AI coaches and franchise will strategize against your style, adapt to your tendencies, and exploit your blind spots on game day.
We'll see.
Play sheets are focused sets of plays you can bring with you on game day to expand your base playbook. Play sheets enhance your strategy with situational firepower, and each one upgrades through 4 tiers, unlocking player boosts tied to those plays. Choose from styles like run and shoot, heavy sets, or blitz-heavy packages, and master a specific play sheet for maximum impact. Equip up to 4 play sheets weekly, integrating them into your play call menu for more strategic control on game day. Play sheets also make your coordinators more relevant to game planning than ever.
Yeah, that's another big focus here, is they wanted to make coordinators feel more important, and all of your coordinators have a ton of different abilities to unlock as well. Your trainer has abilities that you can unlock and use. There is a lot going on.
Specialized play sheets you can equip weekly. Want to blitz
more play sheets, of course.
Modern college scheme? Hire the coordinator with the tools to make that happen. Wear and tear and franchise adds
and of course, they kind of glossed over that, but yes, you can hire and fire coordinators now, which I believe is happening for the first time in a long time.
New personnel challenge to your weekly routine. And we're giving you the tools to best manage player usage during the season. New dynamic injury statuses can change after each week's training.
And, you know, it's kind of surprising that this wasn't in the game for so long, because a big part of the NFL is when players are questionable, doubtful, probable, right? And that just was not a thing in Madden. And now that is going to be a thing in Madden. You have the different, okay, are they going to play? Are they not going to play? Is it somewhere in the middle? And then, of course, you can see the risk area for the individual injury or potential injury even. You can see the wear and tear over the course of the season. If implemented well, I think wear and tear needs to be in the game, right? I think it wasn't implemented perfectly in College Football 25, but the idea was good. And now we're trying to figure out, okay, how exactly can we polish it to make it actually a good experience? And I think that's what EA is going through. And hopefully it's, in a good position to where it's going to be fun, yet punishing at times in Madden 26 franchise mode.
Rest players to protect them or push them and risk a setback that may keep them sidelined on game day. All new trainer abilities can help reduce wear and tear and help your players recover faster. Control your team's practice intensity, oversee player development, and find recovery for your superstars, especially as the season wears on. The new Coach Central Hub
Ravens had a nice draft.
And an overview of your franchise's details. Review and upgrade your staff abilities and play sheets, and keep track of your new coach approval rating. As the leader of an NFL franchise, everyone's watching, and your choices carry weight. Your approval rating ultimately determines your job security. Build enough goodwill, and you might just survive a tough season. Rich Eisen's iconic voice guides you through the defining moments of your NFL coaching journey.
A change he's just made to the lineup will surprise plenty of people, so much so that even some in his own building have questions.
Eisen's commentary reacts dynamically to your unique path, shaping a personalized narrative that makes every franchise experience feel different. In Madden 26, every week will feel like a unique challenge.
Yeah, like this snow looks insane,
As an adversary,
but I think that's fun.
snow to pound and rain that can reshape how you
Rain's going to be annoying.
And for the first time ever, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night games each deliver a distinct
I kind of spoiled this, but yes, here you go.
with authentic primetime broadcast packages.
I think it looks way better overall.
Without a recap of the week's highlights. And who better than Scott Hansen to host Madden's all-new franchise halftime highlights and weekly recap shows?
This is super cool, though, as well. I kind of forgot this was going to be a feature until I reviewed this prior to recording this video. Yes, you can see around the league highlights, and this should work in online franchise with your buddies. You can see their top plays during halftime. The highlights are actually going to be implemented, so it actually feels more like a league and not just a playthrough through one individual team.
To the halftime report. Dare I say, ladies and gentlemen, the witching hour is almost upon us, so let's get after it.
Build your coaching legacy and take control with new abilities, play sheets, weekly strategy, and more. In EA Sports Madden.
Of course, they're always going to market core improvements. Like, draft logic is supposedly improved every year. I don't know that there is a huge focus. It says new unique draft prospects. That's pretty vague. That doesn't necessarily really tell us anything. And I still feel like we're lacking a lot of those generational prospects. I feel like the draft is kind of lacking right now, and it's a lot of the same positions that are good every year. Corners good every year. You still see corners and wide receivers go number one overall when that doesn't really happen in the NFL very much. Still feel like tackle prospects and edge rushers are not all that good in the draft, which is disappointing because some of those are the best, most valuable positions that you see drafted. Like, those guys go high for a reason, and they end up sometimes being some of the best players in the league. I don't know that we really see that as much. So, what does new unique draft prospects actually mean? It's tough to say. New archetypes, not really, but new potential, like different types of players that can be generated with different, like the ranges maybe have been changed. I mean, it's completely up to speculation. Improved team needs logic. That could be nice. You know, you don't see a team that has a quarterback, signing a quarterback in free agency that is at that same level. Now, that's not something I noticed a ton this past year, but I played Madden 25 less than any other Madden over the past decade. Improved sim stats. Again, hard to know exactly what that means. I still imagine that franchise is going to be entirely playbook dependent. This is one of my biggest gripes with franchise mode, and I get it because in real life, coaches matter a lot, and that was obviously a big focus for Madden 26, but the playbook, in turn, matters a lot. You know, you're not going to see the best rosters perform great if they don't have a great coaching staff in place. In franchise mode, I think that should matter a little bit less. Let me focus on building up my team and let that team succeed in simulation rather than just needing a certain playbook. Let me run Kansas City offense and defense and have every rebuild feel the same. It's just not that fun. A revamped player tag logic, I think, is important. That was broken down. Basically, like, not everyone's going to get the QB of the future tag if they're 26 years old with normal development, only a 20 or only a 70 overall, stuff like that. So that hopefully will be good. And then dev trait regression logic, that was so annoying to where a player would play pretty well and just go down a dev trait anyway, or win an award and immediately go up to superstar only for it to be immediately downgraded back to star. Like, what's the point? So hopefully that doesn't happen anymore.
NFL 26. Pre-order the MVP bundle to get 3-day early access.
So we're going to drop into the actual deep dive now, but I don't know. I'm a little bit conflicted about Madden 26 because I really didn't like Madden 25. And one of my biggest gripes was that, every team felt about the same. There was no grind last year. Like, I didn't even make it through a season of Raiders franchise because it was so unfun to play. The gameplay was so unfun. Every team felt the same. It felt so easy. And I think they have made a number of changes to improve quarterback play, and that was in the gameplay video. If you guys didn't see that, check that out, because I think they did stuff with QB DNA to make each individual quarterback feel unique, feel different, and feel like their actual on-field counterpart in real life. So I think it may be more fun to play the computer this year, but I am worried that it is absolutely overkill with all of these abilities. I know, users are asking for more control and they want to make it feel, like a real coaching experience, but man, it feels like there's a lot to take in with 1,000 different abilities. That's paraphrasing or exaggerating, but there are a lot of different abilities, not just for your head coach, but for your offensive coordinator, for your defensive coordinator, for your trainer. Play sheets for every different guy. I mean, we're going to be asking the water boy for his specific set of play sheets. To me, it just feels like a lot, and I don't want, and this may be very different for you, I'm not trying to complain, but I'm giving you my experience how I play the game historically. I don't want to be strategizing about my opponent for an hour before I play the game. I think that may be an unpopular take because, yes, there should be a strategy element like there is in real life, but I have TikTok ADHD brain now. I just want to jump into the game and let my players in the play do the talking. And if I'm, setting different strategies and abilities and swapping things out, I just don't think I'm going to do that every game. I really don't. If you are, there's a lot of depth. There's a lot of replay value because there's so many different ways that you can go about it. But for me, I just know it's not going to be how I play the game. And now jumping over to the actual franchise deep dive, I've talked about a lot of these things already, and I think I've provided some insight. There's not really a point to break down everything in here, but yes, the main focus was to make every week feel different. And I think they've done that with presentation and things like that, with the different scoreboards, but a lot of it is feel like a real NFL head coach every single week, all season long. It's a lot about building your staff, adjusting your strategy, and preparing for your next opponent. Your decisions will matter more than ever. I honestly just don't want to make those decisions. I know it's so bad to say, but I just like playing the game sometimes. But you can simulate this stuff, but if it's really going to hurt you to simulate it, I'm going to feel forced to do it, maybe. So we'll see what happens. There's so many abilities. We're not going to talk about everyone or even any of them. But we know there are 4 tiers. We know there are so many different abilities. I won't be able to make one video talking about them because there are so many abilities for a lot of different guys within your organization. So coordinators are important. Like, that is cool, but it's a lot to deal with. And play sheets are a big factor with your coordinators. To me, it just feels like a lot. It really does. I like that Coach Carousel is in here. I really do. I think that was a huge upgrade. Huge upgrade. But I almost feel overwhelmed by the amount of abilities and the focus on the strategy and the sheer number of play sheets and abilities. And if I'm overwhelmed and I do this as a job, I can only imagine how a casual player would feel. And that's a lot of their audience, right? Storylines are cool. I'd like to see that, I think, perfected, because it wasn't in Madden 25, and that was a big focus in Madden 25, and it just wasn't that good in Madden 25. This may be the thing I'm most excited about. Player traits. I'm going to read this word for word. Facing off against an AI QB in Madden NFL 26 is going to feel different than it has in the past, which is what I just talked about. The gameplay team has completely re-engineered how AI players behave on the field by introducing a brand new system of player traits. At launch, Madden NFL 26 will debut 50 unique player traits designed to capture the decision-making logic behind CPU-controlled athletes. This is huge for an offline player like me. These traits don't affect gameplay outcomes directly. Instead, they shape how individual AI players respond to game situations, helping them feel more distinct and true to life in their play styles. Each trait is rooted in authentic NFL data to ensure authentic behavior you see every week in the NFL. Almost done. For instance, Josh Allen is assigned the run over trait, making him more inclined to power through tackles instead of sliding or stepping out of bounds while scrambling. This feels like how Josh Allen plays, like an animal. This is backed by the fact that over the past 2 seasons, Allen has led the league with 54% of his scrambles resulting in 3+ yards after contact. And don't worry, when we generate draft prospects, they all have these new traits as well. So traits has been completely overhauled, and hopefully it really impacts how the AI plays, making actual players and opponents, and even CPU AI generated opponents when you get to deal with the draft year in and year out. Hopefully it actually makes these guys feel different. I'm excited about it. I think if wear and tear is done well, that's going to be nice. But that's pretty much it. We talked on a lot of the presentation, and the weather, I think, is a really, really cool factor. But I am very interested to see, okay, is the draft logic actually truly improved? Because you can look at, draft trends, and yes, we'll see if this is actually going to be the case. But they're saying that NFL teams are investing in the trenches, especially on the interior defensive line. You'll see more offensive and defensive linemen being drafted across the board, just like we've seen in recent real-life drafts, but hopefully at the top of the board. That's what happens in the real draft. Teams draft based on what I would call like a pyramid of positional value. And at the top, the lone top part of the pyramid, quarterback. We would all agree it is the most important position in football. It is higher drafted on average compared to any other position, and your team can thrive or fail based on quarterback play. That's why these guys are drafted higher than anybody else every year. Up next, offensive and defensive linemen. That to me is the clear 2 that need to be in tier 2, with corner and wide receiver kind of on the outside looking in. Very close, but I would say on average, D-line and O-line is above corner and wide receiver. And then you start to talk about, maybe that being tier 3 with, linebacker, safety, running back, tight end, these positions, center, guard, sneaking in. But to me, it's very clear what the top of the pyramid looks like. QB, D-line, O-line, with corner and receiver kind of just underneath before we get to the lesser valuable positions that I think you can kind of throw all into one tier: tight end, guard, center, running back, safety, linebacker. Linebacker may be a little bit above some of those, but running back's trending back up, so I don't know. But that's pretty much how it works. So we'll see if this is actually as they say it is. If it is, I'd be really excited about that. The draft prospect generators is really, it looks like assigning traits to new players. Every draft prospect now comes with carefully selected traits, making each one feel truly unique. This adds more variety and personality to the rookies you draft, and we can't wait to see how they perform on the field in your franchise. So it just seems like, okay, how are the traits applied? What's the AI logic on applying traits to different archetypes? Yeah, I'm interested to see what that's going to do. Without giving too much away, you'll notice new types of players entering the draft pool. That includes exciting gadget players, dedicated long snappers, specialized Sam and Will linebackers, and some rare, one-of-a-kind tight ends, running backs, and safeties that are sure to stand out. I'm very excited about that. If you guys are long-term viewers of the channel, you know I love safeties. I just do. But hopefully the one-of-a-kind, like generational, is not just limited to tight ends, running backs, and safeties. That seems crazy that it would be, but I guess they're arguing maybe that quarterback to a level, running back, wide receiver, and maybe even corner had these type of guys already. But, dude, I want to see some generational linebackers, generational edge rushers, generational everything, man. Like, I want to have how it is in real life. Sometimes at each different position, we've seen over the past 20 years, truly generational players. When you look at quarterback, obviously there are some guys that you can go to, but you know, if we're going to see Hall of Famers get drafted, I want to see occasionally what is clearly a Hall of Famer in the game, right? So I'm excited to see if that actually works. And of course, they've retooled retirement, progression, and regression logic. So if they make nice quality of life changes and actually do some of the things they say they're going to do, I'm excited for it. But overall, I'm also feeling slightly overwhelmed with everything that's been introduced. We'll see what the implementation actually looks like. But that'll do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what my first Madden 26 franchise team should be, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.